This week in esports, your top stories are: Vitality continues to dominate the CS2 rankings, G2 lead the VCT going into Toronto, and Paravision makes a Dota statement at Dream League. Let's get into it. Let's start with Counter-Strike, specifically Team Vitality. Now they are currently on a 30-game win streak, so no surprise there that they are currently the HLTV and Valve #1 team. However, a win here at the Austin Major would solidify this as being the Vitality era. But the real surprise, the Mongols. After dancing around the top 10 for most of this year, they have finally cracked into HLTV's top 5 teams, which is a huge win, not just for the scene or the org, but for the regional diversity as a whole. And it's safe to say they have finally cemented themselves as real tier 1 contenders to watch out for. And as for a general Austin Major update, as of right now, right before the end of stage 1, we currently have Heroic, Bait, BetBoom, OG, and Nebiga? It's a new team for me. I haven't quite figured out how to pronounce it yet, but I'll get there. Have qualified for stage 2, which starts on Saturday the 7th. So make sure you don't miss that, because that is when the big hits are coming. I'm talking Fury, I'm talking Falcons, I'm talking FaZe. Why did I mention FaZe like that? Because FaZe now has Simple just for this event, but this is something that fans have been waiting to see for a long time. Has he still got it? That's the question we all want answered. Does Simple have what it takes to bring FaZe a major? It's still Simple, and you cannot count him out. This could be FaZe's own Cinderella story. Well, Simplerella story? There's something there. Moving on to Valorant, which is also kicking off on the 7th with the Toronto Masters. And the VCT is currently being led by G2, with Sentinels and MIBR tailing just behind. But anything can happen in LAN, and it's been an interesting year with Valorant to say the least. Now the Masters is the last big showdown before Champions, so we are in peak drama territory. And I'm curious to see how G2's consistency fares against Gen G or EDG's Chaos. Sticking with Riot, moving into League of Legends. It's difficult to complete the week's news without talking about Gen G's 18-0 record for the split. Does this mean that we finally have some new World Champs coming up? Potentially, unless EU finally decides to do something about it, which we haven't done since 2019, where we lost to FUT+ Phoenix. Speaking of EU, it's a sad day in the League world for EU fans. Perkz has officially retired. He posted an emotional, heartfelt goodbye onto his X account, which I highly suggest you watch because he actually kind of got me a little bit in the heart. And as an EU fan, whether he was playing in the LEC or not, it still sucks to see him go. And finally, in the LEC, G2 are of course waiting in the final for the winner of the match between KC and Movistar Koi. However, it's not all doom and gloom for the loser of that semi-final match. Between KC and Movistar Koi, the winner does secure their place at MSI 2025. Moving on to Dota, at Dream League Season 26, Paravision came out swinging with an incredible 31-4 record, sweeping out BetBoom in the grand final with a 3-0. Now, I may not understand Dota, but I understand a 31-4 record. That is insane. It's probably too early to start thinking of these guys as potential TI winners, but they're on the right track. And moving on to Rocket League, the major in Raleigh kicks off in just 3 weeks' time. And yes, I will be there with 16 teams, seeing who's going to win their share of the $351,000 prize pool. So expect more Rocket League news as we get closer. And in Rainbow Six, Envy is back, and they are bringing the JJ & Co roster they have just acquired. Meanwhile, Luminosity looks like they are leaving the R6 scene. Classic 1 in and 1 out. And that is This Week in Esports. If you like this, make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week.